What's your take on inflation? If you think rising prices are good because it signals economic growth, then you're not alone. Most people are wrong about inflation. Inflation is bad news because as prices rise, so do the costs of goods and services, limiting how much we can spend and also making it harder to pay off debt because our incomes don't go as far as they used to in the past. In this video, discuss how inflation and saving go hand in hand and provide 5 tips for how to save in this high cost of living crisis. The first step is to start saving. It's no secret that the cost of living is rising, but what's often not talked about is how this affects our saving habits. In order to keep up with the high cost of living, we need to be proactive about our finances and start saving. Here are 5 tips for how to save in this high cost of living crisis. It starts by becoming more aware of where your money goes. Create a budget and figure out how much you're spending on each category so you can allocate funds appropriately. You should also take advantage of programs like 401ks or IRAs, which allow you to put pre-tax income away for retirement. Another way to manage your finances is by setting up an emergency fund which will help cover unplanned expenses without affecting your ability to pay other bills. The second step is figuring out where your money is going. A large part of many people's high cost of living is due to their spending habits. To get a handle on your finances, you need to track where your money is going. You can do this by writing down everything you spend for a month or two, or by using a budgeting app. Once you know where your money is going, you can start making changes to save. If you're buying lunch out every day, try packing one in advance and taking it with you. If you're eating out more than twice a week, try cutting back to once a week. The third step is setting yourself up for success. Start by setting up a budget for yourself. Determine what you need to live comfortably and what you can live without. Once you have your budget, start looking for ways to cut costs. One way to do this is to see if you can get by with a cheaper cell phone plan or cable package. You can also save money by cooking at home more often than eating out. Finally, be sure to put some money into savings each month so that you have a cushion in case of an emergency. The fourth step is understanding inflation rates. This is why it's important to keep an eye on the inflation rate. The current inflation rate is 2.1%. That means, on average, prices have increased by 2.1% since last year. To put that into perspective, if you had $100 in savings last year, it would be worth $102.1 today. However, because your paycheck hasn't changed much, a high cost of living can make it seem like you're getting poorer every day. The fifth step is keeping an eye on your spending. One way to save money is by evaluating your spending habits. See where you can cut back, even by a little bit. You may be surprised how much money you can save by making small changes to your spending habits. Another way to save money is by looking for deals and discounts. Many stores offer sales and discounts, so be sure to take advantage of them when you can. You can also save money by creating a budget and sticking to it. Create a list of all the expenses you have in an average month, then add up the total cost. Divide that number by 12 to get the average monthly expense per month. The next step is figuring out what income your household has each month and dividing that number by 12 as well. Now subtract this new number from the first one to find out how much money you have left over each month after expenses are paid. Set up a mobile savings account for savings on the go. It's important to have a savings plan during inflation so that you can have extra money when prices on everyday items start to increase. It's important to have a savings plan during inflation so that you can have extra money when prices on everyday items start to increase. A mobile savings account can help you do this by allowing you to save money on the go. All you need is a smartphone and a few minutes to set up an account. Once you've done that, you can start transferring money into your account whenever you have some extra cash. You'll be surprised how quickly your savings add up. Get an extra job or do some freelancing. One way to save during inflation is to get an extra job or do some freelancing. This can help you bring in more money each month, which you can then use to save. Another way to save during inflation is to cut back on your spending. This can help you bring in more money each month, which you can then use to save. Another way to save during inflation is to cut back on your spending. Look at your budget and see where you can cut back, even by a little bit. Every bit helps. You can also try to shop around for deals and discounts. Lastly, make sure you have an emergency fund saved up. Switch suppliers when it is financially beneficial. In order to save during inflation, it is important to be aware of when you can switch suppliers in order to get a better deal. This may mean switching providers for things like electricity, gas, or water. It could also mean shopping around for a new car insurance provider. This may mean switching providers for things like electricity, gas, or water. It could also mean shopping around for a new car insurance provider. Sometimes, simply calling your current provider and asking for a better deal can save you money. It is also important to be aware of loyalty programs and take advantage of them when possible. I hope these tips can show you how to manage your money during these uncertain times. For more content, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.